Hey everybody, how's it going today? And welcome back to another brand new episode as we start the brand new week today with another update in regards to the second stimulus check and second stimulus package. Because as most of you guys have known, it is so crazy to think that we have officially entered into the final week of July. It is crazy to think that this entire pandemic situation started about 4 months ago here in America, and it is so crazy to think how far we have gone. But on a sad news, it also does mean that, as most of you guys know from my previous videos, and if you guys have been following the news, that we have officially also reached the very end of the $600 unemployment benefits, $600 unemployment boost extension. And it also does mean that we've also reached the end of the eviction ban. And I think what's even sadder about this situation is because the COVID cases are actually still rising. In fact, they're climbing even higher and higher with every single day right now. And especially with so many different states that are thinking about locking down but have not actually locked down yet, it just really gives perspective on what's to come, that it's crazy to think that we are in an even more hardcore situation than we were back in March, but now we are receiving even less support during an even harder time period. So really is a crazy time right now. But on to some brighter news. The brighter news to share is that, as most of you guys know, we have basically officially confirmed that there will indeed be some kind of second stimulus check and second stimulus package. And on top of that, even more so, is that the Republicans have officially drafted their own bill about what they want in the second stimulus check and second stimulus package. And that while we don't know exactly what is going to be in it yet, there are so many hints that can pinpoint what we think is going to be in it, which is what we're going to be talking about through this video. And also on top of that is that while we don't exactly know what is going to be in it, we very much likely will know in the coming days, if not actually even more potentially by the end of today, which is so crazy to think that so many things are going to be revealed in the next couple of days. So definitely watch all the way to the end so you guys can get updated with everything that's been going on. Oh, and also consider subscribing and hitting the bell notification button so you guys can also get updates in future videos about all of the different stuff, because this is going to be a very epic next couple of days, if not next couple of weeks even, with so many different moving parts and everything going on. So definitely subscribe to get notified of that going on. Oh, and smash the like button, because it really does help out the channel, and it's also just very easy to do. You know, just thumbs up right there, blue icon. When I'm not posting about stimulus check, stimulus package videos, I'll probably be posting about other financial topics, so lots of insight and lots of things to kind of roll out and watch and learn about. Okay, so I'm gonna roll the introduction and let's get started. So while we don't know exactly what is going to be in the second stimulus check and second stimulus package, we will very likely know by the Republicans by hopefully actually the end of today, if not the next couple of days. But we can also assume that whatever they end up proposing, it will likely be that and something greater, because as we probably have already known, is that the House Democrats have been the most generous group of people throughout this entire thing, who have been in support of almost everything from like unemployment benefits to all of this stimulus checks and different support services. So it's really been the Senate Republicans. So you can assume that whatever the greediest circle of people in this country, the Senate Republicans, want, whatever they propose, you can assume that that basically will act sort of as like the baseline. And so it's probably going to end up being something that and then greater, because it's going to be like the midway between whatever they can find as the compromise between the Democrats and the Senate Republicans. On another note, what they may actually also consider doing during their debate, if they can't come to a consensus of all of the different parts from like the PPP, the SBA, the payroll tax cuts, if they can't come to a consensus, they might even just do multiple stimulus packages in the future, where they just basically break it down and every single bill by bill is going to be a different part. The only concern I have about this is that sometimes it may actually lead to a lot of even more delays by doing that, when you have so many different bills and create even more moving parts. And I think the fear is, and the concern for so many different people, is that if they end up doing that, they may end up actually be doing like a trick where the Republicans could potentially just be doing this because they just want to kill and press time to be able to kind of cheap out of the situation, hoping that if enough time goes on, maybe the world will basically just somehow magically recover, kind of like with President Donald Trump saying that this whole thing is a hoax and it's suddenly going to disappear, even though we're actually in an even more hardcore case than we were back in March. So we don't know exactly what it is, but that is a potential option that may happen. Now, in terms of the unemployment benefits and the unemployment extension, because obviously I think this is the one where they have the most sense of urgency, just because it has actually officially ended, and this is the basically the last week and the first week that we're gonna have to go without it. There's really three things that are being proposed right now that it's gonna likely be. Of course, the Democrats have wanted to extend the $600 unemployment benefit and boost for actually quite a while now. In fact, they have actually been the only group of people that have really been wanting to push for so many of the different support services since the very, very beginning. In fact, I found one graph, and I'm going to display it right here, that really gives you the exact statistic about how many Democrats have supported all of this and how many Republicans have supported, like, basically all of these support packages. And by looking at this graph, this should also give you guys perspective about who to vote for in the coming months of November, because I think it's very fair to say that most people that are watching this probably want it. In fact, most people, I mean, this is money to support you guys. I think it's very fair to say. So this graph literally will show who are the actual loyal people that are currently supporting you guys on your side, and it should give you guys perspective of who to vote for regardless of your past political affiliation. Maybe smash the like button if we're currently on the same exact side here, because it does show you who actually are the heroes that are trying to support us right now. Now, the Republicans are a little bit more clashing. There's a lot less unity going on in the Republican Party. Some of the Republicans have actually proposed trying to basically extend the unemployment to give people $400 per month to help support, not $400 per week, which is insane. They are literally a group of Republicans right now that are trying to push for $400 a month, or otherwise $100 basically per week, which I think is insane to really go for 600 to 100. And then there's another group of Republicans, which Mnuchin basically represents, that's trying to propose something to basically pay people 70% of whatever their normal pay would be. Now, the thing about this is that I feel like the problem with the 70% is that there are just so many different logistics that's going to be needed. And the fact that, you know, if I'm speaking to the Republicans, you guys are the people that have been taking so long for this the entire time. So now you guys are trying to offer us a plan that's potentially harder to implement, that's going to take even longer to basically be able to figure out, since now people actually have to, like, you know, report, like, fill out forms and report, maybe even look at their taxes or something like that to see how much everyone was currently making. And then what about, like, wages, cash payments if you're a waiter, all that kind of stuff, which I think is very, very crazy. But maybe comment down below what you guys are currently thinking about the current situation, how much you guys think should be in the unemployment extension, or what you guys currently feel is probably the best move for this, because obviously there's from the $600 extension to the $100 extension to like the 70% of a person's typical pay rate. Now onto the actual stimulus check part, the bright news also to share with you guys is that they're also, I think both sides do indeed support a second stimulus check given to every single person. It is officially supposedly going to be $1,200 given to every single American. I believe on the Republican side, what they're currently trying to propose in regards to that specific check is actually basically almost like a replica of the CARES Act that was literally passed a couple months. I'm pretty sure they're trying to make it almost the exact same amount, so $1,200, $500 per dependent child, and basically the same exact like income requirements. I think it was $75,000, and it's reduced by $1,000 up to a certain rate. Whereas the Democrats basically are proposing something very, very similar to that, but they just want to open it up to more individuals. So certain people that were not able to receive it in the past, I believe like on people on Social Security or veterans or something like that, they're trying to basically just do the same exact thing but offer it to basically more people, especially also college students. I believe is another group of people that were not part of the first package that they're trying to include into the second check. But once again, it's probably going to be $1,200. And then beyond this, there's really just three other additional parts. I mean, there's actually many, but the other three big ones is basically, I believe, is with the eviction ban, they're hoping to try to extend the eviction ban, and then with the payroll tax tax cut, I believe Mnuchin does not want to include anything inside related to the payroll tax cut, but I know Trump really does want it. So that is actually a little bit of a conflict of interest that can potentially happen if they aren't able to agree, because it seems like both sides seem to be pretty firm about what they want and what they don't want. Mnuchin saying he doesn't want it, and then Trump saying he really does want it. And then I think really the third part in it is really about the liability protection, which is basically just to protect different businesses so that they can't be sued in regards to like anything related to like COVID situation, because they think that it's going to be very difficult for a lot of small businesses to run if they have to run and basically operate and live with the fear that any of their customers at any time can basically get at them because of the COVID situation and everything going on. So they're really trying to propose something to basically protect that from happening. So this is basically the overall outline and gist of what we really think is going to be in it, but we will officially know hopefully by the end of today, if not the next couple of dates. So subscribe and smash the like button if you haven't done so already to get notified about that. But I will also add one really quick thing, and I think is that because I do know one thing for sure is that the majority of the Republicans are trying to push schools to really be able to reopen, even though cases are climbing over and over again. And as you've probably, if you saw one of my previous videos, it's the one that I believe it's about the unemployment. I'll put it at the very end, which is just in a couple minutes or so, and also in the description to watch. I talk a little bit about how if they don't extend the unemployment or move fast soon, every single person is potentially going to be impacted, because we are basically on this ship together. The real fast answer is basically if they don't extend the unemployment or the regular stimulus checks and move fast. How I talk about how crime is potentially going to go up, protests are potentially going to go up, people are not going to be spending money, the economy, small businesses, even the businesses that the rich people actually care about, and the stock market and the economy, everyone is going to be able to go down together. But maybe comment down what you currently think, and I'll give you guys definitely updates in the next couple of days about what ends up happening. So thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe, stay well, hoping the best for absolutely every single person, you, I, because we literally are all in this together. Hope to see you guys in the next couple of days. Thank you guys so much for watching.